shot.
Eric Mazurkowitz. I'm a senior, music education major, and I play the trumpet. Well, I started playing trumpet kind of later than most people. In 4th grade, I started as a trombone player, and I actually quit because I wasn't good enough. And then when I got to middle school in 6th grade, I decided that I wanted to give it another try. And I had a lot of friends who played the trumpet, and so I started in 6th grade, and by the end of my 6th grade year, I played in my very first concert.
My name is Max So. I am a junior music major at the College of New Jersey, and I play the euphonium. Well, first I had wanted to learn how to play the trumpet, but then my teacher, my band director in high school was in need of a euphonium player in his band, so he said, no trumpet for you, euphonium. Euphonium or tuba. I tried out the tuba, that didn't work out too well, so I picked up the euphonium, and that worked out a little bit better than the tuba did, so I just started playing euphonium ever since.
I think I started in 5th grade. I think I was around 11 years old or so. Yeah, I just wanted to play. I thought, there was only 3 notes on the trumpet, and then I realized, wait, there are a lot more. So it's been fun ever since.
My name is Vanessa Lim. I'm a senior music education major, and I play the flute. The only reason why I decided to do flute is because we got offered it for the band program in 5th grade, and all my girlfriends were doing it. So not wanting to be left out, I decided that I should play the flute too, so I wasn't lonely. And I actually would never practice for the first month and a half. And then I realized that my teacher was gonna fail me, so I actually decided to practice, and I ended up really liking it more than I thought I would.
I think I had a pretty good idea when I got to high school, and I think playing in the marching band in high school was a big part of that, because there were a lot of people that were a lot better than me, and I'm a little bit of a competitive person, and I definitely wanted to keep working really hard to see if I could eventually be, the top dog in high school, and I did, and I worked hard for it, and it was such a rewarding thing that I wanted to have the chance to give other kids that same experience that I had in high school.
Well, there was never really a moment like a moment that I had. It was just over the course of practicing, and getting good at the horn, I just really began to enjoy the sound that I was starting to produce. And that it was just, and that the euphonium itself is an outlet for creating beautiful music, and I just kind of fell in love with that idea.
It sounds really silly, but in 8th grade, I made Bergen County Band, and I was like, oh, maybe I might be good at something, and I realized that it was my flute, and then I was thinking just about all my teachers that I wanted to, teach kids to, appreciate and to love music as much as my teachers have taught me how to love it, and that's what I knew.
I'm Craig Dickert. I'm a junior music education major at the school, and I play the euphonium. I am the tech for the low brass of the South Brunswick High School Marching Band.
And how's that experience for you?
It's been great. I've been working with some of my old high school directors, even some of the kids that were there when I was still a student there, and it's really showed me the other side of teaching, not just seeing it as a student. I see what really goes into putting everything together and the work that really must go into having the students really perform well. Definitely. I've learned, different ways to get through to students, when talking about music or phrasing or, even just learning the notes or picking up the instrument. It was very helpful.
But the biggest thing I'd say that I learned, especially student teaching on the high school level, is the time commitment involves, and how much of your day is not encompassed within the actual hours of the school day, and how much extra time you put in. For example, the school day is from 7:30 to about 2:30, and some nights when we would have away football games or whatever, we wouldn't get home until midnight, and I wouldn't get home until 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I have to get up and be at school the next morning at 8 o'clock for a rehearsal for a competition on Saturday. Tremendous time commitment, and I think it really speaks to how much extra time teachers, especially music teachers, put in outside the school day. You know, and of course the kids were tremendous too, and you know, I learned a whole lot, and it's an experience that I'm going to carry with me probably for the rest of my career.
Well, there was this one time when my boss, the band director, was trying to explain to the kids about how music, there are, 100 different interactions that occur when you're performing a piece of music. And, one of them is the interaction between the performer and the audience, the performer and the conductor. But the one that most people seem to forget about most is the interaction between the notes in the music itself. Right. One person plays a note, and another person plays a note, another person plays a note, and that in turn is what creates a chord, right? And these chords go along this harmonic journey to construct this phrase, and these interactions, and because of that, one should never really forget that one should never really forget that nobody ever really plays one note because just for the sake of playing that one note, their note exists because that person's note exists and that person's note exists. So they have to play, to be cliche about it, they have to play in harmony and in this unison to balance all this out and to create beautiful music and to just let the music happen. And that's something that really it's doing this slowly changes my perception on what music really is, and it's some of the most amazing revelations I've ever had in my life.
I mean, if I had a preference, I think I would prefer high school because it's what I had the most experience in, and it's what I've had the most success in. And because I'm familiar with it, it's what I'm most comfortable with. And I think that my talents as a teacher are most suited towards high school level children. But I do have experience with middle school kids, and especially with the job market today. You can't really be too picky about the job you're applying for. I mean, sometimes you just need to take what's available. And, I would teach elementary school, I would teach middle school, anything to start, because, it could be a stepping stone to a high school program, or, I might even find that I like middle school better than high school, just because, I haven't done it that much, I don't really know. So it's something that probably remains to be seen.
Right now, I'd really like middle school. Second would be elementary school. I was kind of put off from high school just because I know what kind of student I was in high school, and I don't think I'm ready to deal with that just yet. But as of about a few weeks ago, I've been observing at a high school, and I've really kind of felt like it might be something I'm interested in doing. But my other thing was that I've been thinking about possibly doing inner city, maybe working in New York or even staying in Trenton. I feel like I might be able to really do a lot and with very little and help students appreciate music.
Yeah, I'd like to teach K to 5 or K to 6 general music. I couldn't see myself. For a while I thought I did. I thought I wanted to do middle school band. Definitely not high school. No high school for me, but just younger kids. I feel like I can really connect with them at that level, and just beginning with beginner band instruments maybe, but we'll see what happens. Maybe things will change down the road.
It's definitely middle school. Definitely middle school. I always wanted to gig after school. Go out with teach kids and then go do gigs. But if I was a high school or an elementary teacher, that's a real full commitment. And for example, high school, you have your marching band, you have your jazz band, you have a lot of after-school activities that kids will participate in. So if I was a marching band or a high school teacher, I would have no free time, and I wouldn't have time to practice this thing. This is what I want to do. I want to play. And it would be very, very difficult to do that as a high school band director. Elementary school is the same way because you have to spend hours and hours preparing lessons for kids, because kids at that age, they'll go out unless you really have a straightforward plan. So, well, I'm about to start now looking, and it's gonna be tough from what I know. I have friends who graduated already who are still looking for a job because right now it's really tough. You know, schools are cutting budgets. They're cutting, so that means they're cutting the music programs. There's not really a lot of availability left. So right now, the best thing that you can really do is put your name in a lot of places, and try to talk to people. Go to conventions, festivals, or whatever. Just get your name out there, and yeah, be ready for a job interview at any point. Always look. It's pretty much like what I need to do, like now.